Hey guys, it's Gus, and here's some info I just learned. I had no idea. Big shout out to Big Buddy. He's an Xbox player. If you don't know him, he's all over Twitch and YouTube. You could call him Mr. Server First. He's an amazing, amazing player, and thank you for sharing this info. So, check this out. Comp damage, our companion's damage, is influenced by our ratings. I had no idea, and I'm going to show you. And the reason this is important is, well, I don't know why it's important yet. I think this is going to raise more questions than it answers. But the thing with DPS is, people will say it's only 1% more damage, big deal. Well, 1% more damage in Tom is like 2 million more damage. And if all the DPS are getting 2 million more damage, that's a shitload of more damage. And I don't know how to use this yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. And maybe somebody will figure out or crack the code and share. So check this out. I have Lulu out, who is my new testing companion. And I've already written down the numbers. I'm only going to be paying attention to crit and crit deflect because companions crit way more than they do normal hits. If you notice, it's always going to be 14017 or 11318 for a deflect. So wait for a crit deflect, and it will be 11318. Lulu's damage is very static. Let's see if we can get a deflect. Oh, come on. I'm not, okay, there you go. And for this test, I took off all the variable damage that increases stats. Like I took off the crit helmet, the crit severity chest piece. These are all static stats. I also took off the companion enhancement. I made sure I didn't have the journals on, no demo set. I took off my combat enchantment. This is so we're getting the exact same numbers every single time. 14017, 11318. And I don't have combat advantage. So check this out. If you take off, I think a lot of players are going, if they're not strikers already, are in the process of swapping over. And I know there's a lot of fundamentalists, that don't, they're all about augments. And that's cool too. But I think a lot of DPS want to maximize their role's potential. It's expensive to swap over from augment to striker though, because usually you have to change all your insignias and sometimes all your enchantments. So it's cool if people aren't. But if you are running a striker, this may be helpful. So a lot of striker builds next mod will be using Neverwinter Night, Minsk, Raptor, Bateri. These four will be the four you see in just about every build. And this one changes. I just happen to have Alchemist Discipline, but there's quite a few you can put in here. So check this out. If I take off Neverwinter Night and I put on accuracy, right? I'm going to put on accuracy. And remember, uh, crit deflect was 11318. And oh, let me show you this. So I think it's a her accuracy is still 9480. So her stats don't change. And let me show you that again. I should have showed that first. So what did I have here? I already forgot. Oh, I had Neverwinter Night. And sorry this is taking so long. I just want to be very precise. So if you look at 9480 is the accuracy. And when you put on accuracy 7.5%, it still stays at 9480. So the companion's ratings don't change, just mine. Now remember, a crit deflect was 11318. Let's see what happens. It won't affect a non deflect, obviously. 12048. So watch this. 12048. 12048 minus this 11318. 11318 is the difference of 730 damage. But you divide that 730 by 11318, 11318, and you got a 6.5% damage increase. Well, it's not a 6.5% damage increase overall because you're only going to deflect about 50% of the time. So it's really raising your companion's damage by 3.2-ish percent. And that doesn't sound significant because companions are roughly, depending on content in your build, roughly 14% ish from the ACT I've seen. We don't have it on PS4, so we rely on other people on PC willing to share, but around 14%. Sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little lower. So 6.5% of 14% is times 0.14 or times 4. Why am I trying to get? That's about a 10% damage increase on your companion. Or no, I'm sorry. Forget I said that. It's all wrong. And this is my sixth take, so I'm not going to redo it. Sorry. So we're seeing accuracy. When we raise our accuracy, the companion's damage definitely goes up. So here's the deal. I don't think crit affects their damage because I believe they're already critting almost 90% of the time. If you watch, almost every single hit is a crit. So I don't know if raising crit will really do too much, anything at all. But if we raise crit severity, so remember the original hit was 14,017. So let's raise our crit by 7.5%. So watch what it does from 14,017. Um, that's still higher than the 11.3. That's the same amount as the last deflect. 14,630. 14,630 as opposed to 14,017. So that's significant too. And then what I noticed is, I'm not going to show it because I'm not trying to keep this video longer, is when I raise my power, well, shoot, okay. Well, I'm not going to do it. If you raise the power, it didn't affect the companion's damage. So my testing could be wrong, but power didn't affect it. And then the last thing we'll swap is we will go combat advantage. So we will take off the we'll take this off. We'll put on Neverwinter Night again to get a baseline. So it appears outgoing damage does not affect the companions. So we'll get combat advantage. So we got 18. All right, let me write this down. 18,647. 18,647. Dang it. 18,647. And then let's get a crit non-deflect. Let's get a any day now, Lulu. 23,093. 23,093. So now we're going to take off Neverwinter Night and we're going to put on the cat. And let's see what happens. So we got 18,647, which was the same actually, 24,145. So it went from 23,093 to, and that deflect is higher to 24,145. So that's very significant. So what this tells us is our stats affect the companion's damage. And I'm going to show this one more time. It doesn't even have to be the stats, it can be ratings. So 24,145, right? 24,145. 24,145. Oh, doing this on myself. 24,145. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change just my rating from accuracy to combat advantage. Watch this. Remember, 24,145. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait, maybe ratings doesn't matter. Or maybe it's because I'm capped. Ah, maybe that's the reason why. So apparently, over capping your stats does not um, influence the damage like it used to, which is good to know too. So ratings does affect it as long as they're not overcapped. And let me verify it. Might as well make the video a little bit longer, okay? So we'll make a baseline of power because power has no effect that I've seen. And remember, I'm not overcapped now. So power's gone up, and we're going to have a baseline of, should be 24,145. Oh, come on, let's give us a, Let's get a non-deflect. How about that, Lulu? Come on. 24,145, right? And that's with um 24. Wait, I need to get a we're going to change the accuracy. So power didn't change at all. The deflect is 19. Why did I write it down? 19,112. Now when I add increased accuracy rating, watch that 19,112 go up. And we'll go like this. And we're going to go like this. Remember, 19,112. Now it's going to be higher. It's going to be like 19,500 or 19,600. 19,496. So we know this tells us this very simple test using Lulu that ratings and our overall stats do affect companion damage, but you're sacrificing like outgoing damage on your personal tune, which is probably not a good idea. But let's say they're equal. Like if you have a choice between a 7.5%, stat and an outgoing damage companion, and the damage gain is equal, all things being equal, it might be better to put the outgoing damage back onto your rating because it will increase your companion's damage as well. And it's these little things that add up in this game. So there you go. Please comment below because if this test is flawed, or you have a better test, or you know how to actually implement this information into a better build, we're all ears. Please comment below. Don't be shy. Stay classy, Neverwinter. See you soon.